Yu-Gi-Oh has changed a lot over the years. Seemingly new archetypes come out every few months, leaving older strategies in the dust. Cards that were once powerhouses are now considered bulk. But lately, Konami have been coming out with support for these old archetypes to either give them a fresh start or actually make them viable in the first place. 2025 is the year of the Yu-Gi boomers, and I wanted to prove that whether you're a new player or a returning veteran, you can find competitive success using your favorite monsters. So I'm taking 3 structures of Yu-Gi-Oh's most powerful monster and officially starting from scratch. Hello. So it's been a hot minute since I've actually sat down and recorded a intro for an episode of Pet Deck. If you guys have seen the update video I did, I explained that I was going to be going to regionals, and you can't record a regional, so rather than record an episode, do a little bit of commentary, and that's it, I figured I would tell you guys what happened at all the regionals and put them right here in one big video. Now, the original plan was I was just going to do, like I said earlier, just kind of talk over some stock footage I got, but I figured that is too boring. So what I have here is I have my notes right here, and I'm going to go over what happened in said regionals, match by match, because I wrote down some bullet point notes of what happened, and I'm going to get the gist of it. But before I do that, we did open up an entire booster box in preparation for this, so that way we can get a bunch of trades while we're at each regional. So let's go ahead and get into that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you saw my last video where I was saying that I'm going to regionals, you would know that we have a very, very big opening for today's video. Basically, if you guys need a TLDR, I'm going to regionals, and I'm not going to be opening packs for each regional. I'm going to open them up all in one go, so that way I can have as many chances at good trade bait as I can to try to get the Primite core, because we could whiff on 5 packs going all the way to a regional out of my city or even out of my state. So I want as much of a chance to get Primite as I can, and I think opening up the remaining of our Stampede that we're able to get 4 regionals is going to do it. We have 25 packs, 5 for each regional, 5 regionals total, and we're just going to go through. We're not going to name. Evil Twins just got some support in the new Alliance Insight. But yo, Ghost Ogre? Okay, that could be good for the deck. But we're not going to go over every little card unless there's like a notable hit. But we're just going to go through. Okay, dog. Okay. And another Ghost. Already had a good start. We got our 3rd Fua, so we don't even need to try to get a 3rd Fua. We just got one. Another Ghost Ogre. Any and all staples, I will gladly take. So basically, what that Fua means, if we pull another Fua out of here, that we just got really good trade bait. That's all that Fua means if we pull any more. Terraforming and Raging Phoenix. But I'm really hoping that for regionals we can get the remainder of the Primite core that we need, so that we can yo QCR Pot of Extravagance. Yo, that's such a sick alt art. That's for my personal collection. I'd 100% put that in my QCR binder. At some point, I need to show you guys my QCR binder. That might be something I post to Instagram. Yo, the Metamorph. Oh, it's so sick. But I'm hoping we can get the remainder of the Primite cards that we need, so that way we can start winning some games. I want there to be more consistency in the deck instead of trying to just be like, okay, we have these cards. What cards do we put in to replace like the missing pieces? And I think that Pot of Extravagance is going to help us a good bit in it, because it's a QCR exclusive. I don't know how much it goes for, but 3rd Ghost Ogre, so any others are going to be trade bait. QCR Keys a Kill. We're getting some good. Okay, we might be able to pull off the Primite engine, hopefully. I don't even remember what I was saying at this point, but I'm wanting more consistency with the choices that we throw into the deck instead of just, oh, this is what we're gonna throw in here for missing pieces. Like right now, we still need Lordy Load. We still need, I think Scream is the other one, and we need one more Ether Barrel. And we damn near got everything else we need. There's an Ash. It's great trade bait because we've already got the Ultras and the Quem secret rare. But yeah, I'm wanting a bit more consistency. I'm hoping that Engraver's gonna be good trade bait. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get some really good wins. I've been in talks with some buddies of mine that are more in line with competitive Yu-Gi-Oh than I am, trying to get some tips and tricks. I have a notebook. I forget if I mentioned it in the previous episode, but I do have a notebook where another QCR Mystic Fiber, where I'm writing down archetypes and what the cards do and the cards to hit, so that way I can like keep a note of them. Obviously, I won't be using it during the match, but I do plan on doing that, so that way I can like brush up on all the archetypes that are coming out and have a point of reference to look at should I forget what needs to be hit where during the whole thing. Dark Magician Girl, QCR brother. These hits are huge. Memento, that's getting another wave. Alistair, I'm pretty sure we've already got a playset. And Zodiac Barrage. Dog, these QCR hits are massive. Dark Magician Girl, QCR, alt art. Yo, okay. So I like this type of foiling. I want to see, hopefully it'll show up on camera, but you see how it's like her normal color? If you tilt it back, it looks like she's in the traditional Dark Magician colors. How she's normally supposed to be like blue and pink, you tilt it back, the foiling, it makes it look like she's got traditional Dark Magician colors. I love that about the Dark Magician Girl prints. That's usually something that they like to do, and I love that about it. Let's see, Typhon, Lullaby Obedience, God Magician, and Crimson Dragon Secret. I need to see what ours is. That might be a rarity bump for the Crimson Dragon that we currently have. But I do have other plans to do for other Yu-Gi-Oh content. I just need to not record it. I got some of it recorded. I just need to sit down and edit it. Another this one's a collector, I believe. Black Rose, and then Secret Mermail. But hopefully at these regionals we can get our invite to Nats. I plan to go to Nats regardless, but if we can go ahead and get this deck to Nats, brother. Ooh, Black Mono Dragon Super. Okay, that is a rarity bump for the time being. That is nice and rarity bump. And Luna Light Tiger. But I got other plans for other series. I got one recorded, and I just need to edit it. I need to get a opening skit recorded for it. Ooh, an ultra rarity bump. I need to get a skit recorded for it. I have an idea for what I want to do. I just need to get some props and possibly some volunteers to help me with it, but we'll get there. Let's see. Okay, I thought that was a QCR. Destructive and Secret, Prismatic Secret Heavenly Monarch. And dog, if I pull a QCR Egyptian God out of this, I'm gonna be a little upset. I'm gonna be just a little bit upset because your boy wants them, and I would very much be upset if I pulled one for this series and I wound up having to trade it away. QCR, the Dark Magicians. How many QCRs is that? Like, don't get me wrong, this isn't like an actual like full booster box. There's a bunch of loose packs I bought. How many did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we pretty much pulled a booster box worth of QCRs. I have like half a booster box, and then I bought some loose packs here and there to make up the difference. So let's see if we can't pull our 6 QCRs through just like loose packs. We got Ulti, Chamber Dragon Maid, Splash Mage, and Cyber Dragon Infinity. Yeah, normally I lay out the cards, but there's just so fucking many that it's just like, there is just no point. Ring of Destruction, Airburst, the Underworld Monarch. I haven't seen him yet. I've only pulled Heavenly. Amphibious, Cyber Dragon Core, and Mechanosaurus, Nice and Dinosaur. That's another deck I want to play, is Dinosaur. I need to see about throwing a deck together for it. We got Hornet, Gaga Magician, Big Welcome, another Gaga Magician, and Trap Tricks. Let's see. And I also got big plans for this series. I can't say all my secrets yet, and they're going to be revealed, but I got plans. I saw Raw, and I got scared. I thought it was QCR. I'm about to be like, I'm going to have to find something that I can trade myself for. Okay, Ulti Desiree. That could probably go for something. Alina and Zodiac Barrage. Second to last pack. Can we pull our 6th QCR out of this? We pulled 5. Can we pull number 6? Light Monarch. Secret Password. Noir. Go to the Deep Beyond. Another secret rare Crimson Dragon. And that was it. I thought I had one more. Last pack. Can we pull a 6th QCR just by getting like a bunch of random packs? Again, half a box with like some random loose packs I had to get here and there. Goaty, Wenda. We've got Atlantean Heavy Infantry, and that is the last one. Secret Rare Edge Imp Chain. But overall, not a bad box whatsoever. We pulled 5 QCRs. One Dark Magician Girl, one of them being the Pot of Extravagance QCR. Not a bad haul overall. And we've got our remaining Fua, so we got our 3rd one, some rarity bumps, some Ghost Ogres if we decide to. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. Hopefully you guys don't mind, like, I'm sitting weird. My chair of like 4 years actually broke. So hopefully we'll get a new one here soon. And hopefully today's sponsor can help out with that. Hey, take a moment, vibe smooth. Let me tell you while we groove. Vinci G in your cup, watch your mood improve. Only 5 calories, keeping it clean. Low cal buzz, but the focus is mean. So many flavors, find your perfect vibe. Peach drink, blue, raz, lemon, lime, so divine. Zero crash, zero guilt, it's like a work of art. Mix it up, sip it slow, helps you hit the mark. Vinci G helps you with your grind. Whether chillin' solo or flexing that mind. Take your time, enjoy the rap. With Vinci G sitting by your side. Steady with the vibe of let the magic start. With Vinci G, you can play it smart. And using my code NUB10 at checkout, it can save you 10% off on your next order, or you can just hit the link in the description down below. And thank you, Advanced GG, for sponsoring this video. So here is the current list as it stands. We did get enough cards to include the Alistair engine. I decided to cut the Primite engine for now because currently we do not have Lordy Load, and it's just kind of not worth running without at least one copy of Lordy Load. So the idea behind this build is that Alistair is a level 4 spellcaster monster, so it's still able to be linked off to summon Spirited Blue. So the idea is you normal summon Alistair, Alistair add Invocation, link off Alistair to summon Spirit, Spirit you use to add Mausoleum, Mausoleum you then use to send off Blue Eyes targeting Spirit, Spirit you send to summon the Blue Eyes, and then you are able to use Alistair's, or you're able to use Invocation in your hand to banish the Alistair and the Spirit to summon Mechaba, then activate the Invocation in your graveyard to add Alistair back to your hand. What this effectively does is that it's able to make it to a UR nib proof, because Invoke Mechaba is a quick effect. You can send the card type of a card, whether that be a monster, spell, or trap, from your hand to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. So if they nib us, we send the Alistair that's in our hand already to negate the Nibiru. That's basically the gist of the strategy. We were also rocking in the extra deck 1 Neo and 1 Tyrant, 1 Ultimate, 1 Lightstorm, 2 Spirit. I think these 4 are going to be a staple that stay in the deck permanently. 1 Black Rose Moonlit, 1 Typhon, 1 Lina, 1 SP, 2 Spirit, 2 Spheres. I was rocking with 1 for a little bit, and I like 2.
and 2 Spirit with Eyes of Blue. In the extra deck, we're rocking 2 Nibiru, 1 Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, because it's basically Max C, but for Link Summoning, and fuck Malice. 3 copies of Lancia, 3 Fulos, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, and 3 Judgment. Yeah, that's gonna be the deck we take to the first regional, and I'm excited to see what it can do.
Alright, so for the first regional, I actually wrote it down on pen and paper because I was going to have like a notebook thing, but I lost the notebook. So I don't have everything that happened in the match written down. I kind of had to go off memory off of this one, but basically what happened was in the first regional, I faced mostly YuGiOh Mitsurugi. We planned for Malice because that was the best deck at the time, or so I thought based on my locals. But apparently, even by that point, YuGiOh Mitsurugi was the best deck. But we played a bunch of YuGiOh Mitsurugi. We fought a Malice. We fought a single Blue Eyes player. We fought Rescue Ace YuGiOh, which is interesting. And we also fought a live twin Fiendsmith. All the other ones that weren't named here, we did fight in all 8 rounds. But if I didn't name off anything special, then it was a YuGiOh Mitsurugi matchup, essentially. So we did end with a 2-4-2 record, being 2 wins, 4 losses, and 2 ties. We also got a few trades in. I don't remember exactly what was traded. I'm going to have pictures behind me here of all the trades we did get. But for this one, we traded a few bulk cards for a ulti crossout designator. And then in between then, we were able to actually get our QCR Kizakill and trade that off for an ulti Fulos. And we were able to take that ulti designator and a few other cards for a Kashira Fenrir. Now, theoretically, we could put the Fenrir into the deck, but I didn't want to just run one Fenrir and no other Kashira cards. I feel like if I'm going to put Fenrir in the deck, I'm at least going to have a single unicorn to go along with it. So those were the trades that were in between Regional 1 and Regional 2. We were going to go to Louisville, Kentucky, but I had some conflicting in scheduling, so I couldn't get to go. So the 5 regionals that we were going to go to have now been reduced to 4.
All right, moving into Duluth, Georgia. We decided to take the Alistair engine out because too many times I saw Invocation, and I just can't do anything with it because I don't have Alistair. So we took out the Alistair engine and put back in the Black Full Metal engine, because at the very least, if I see this in my hand, if all I end on is a Blue Eyes White Dragon and this set, then draw phase, activate Max Metamorph, tributing Blue Eyes to summon a Omni Negate. We're only rocking the 2 Black Metal Dragons because I really want to see stuff like Maiden and Sage in hand. We did get our hands on a copy of Prosperity, so Prosperity's in here. We don't really have a lot of leeway of stuff that we can get rid of. So, it's basically just going to be a reveal with 3 and add 1 to hand. We added Ultimate Fusion, and the reason being is because to activate Wishes, you need to add a level 1 Light Tuner, which I have plenty of, and a spell trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon, and too many times when we combo out do we run out of those materials specifically, and we draw Wishes, and it's just kind of a brick in our hand now. So the idea is if we don't set Ultimate Fusion off of True Light, then we activate Wishes, and we're still able to add Ultimate Fusion to our hand. We shuffle back a Blue Eyes on field and get a free pop, summoning out Tyrant Dragon. Or, if we do decide to set Ultimate Fusion with True Light, then we can still use Wishes to add Majesty from deck to hand. It just makes Wishes more live after 1 use, so we get 2 uses out of Wishes instead of just the 1. But we did take out the Lina in the extra deck to add the second Tyrant, and that's pretty much the only difference between that. Oh, and we added the 3rd Spirit, because I send 2 a lot, and I kind of just needed a way to bring back Blue Eyes, so I decided to throw in another Spirit, and so that's where we got here. In the extra deck, we decided to take away the 2 Nibiru and the Phantasme in favor of the 3 Ghost Bell because Mitsurugi exists, and that's pretty much it. This is the current list now, and I like it. I think if I can get my hand on a second Lubellion, I think we will be in very, very good shape with just what we have right here.
But after that, I actually went to Duluth, Georgia, and here is how the rounds went. Game 1, we lose a die roll against White Forest, and we had a hard misplay that ended up in the Spear's Pass, and then they were able to manage to steamroll us from there. Game 2, we bricked super, super hard and had to just pass going first, and they were just able to combo and swing for game. Round 2 was against Exodia Fiendsmith, a weird combo I never thought I'd see. Usually it would be like Snake Eye Fiendsmith using like a couple of the Millennium cards, but no, this was actually Exodia. He summoned Exodia Incarnate. but we made another stupid misplay on game 1, which cost us the match, and on game 2, we ended on the Spears Spirit, and we got nibbed. We used Spears to end on a Druis and pass. He Lava Golems our Druis and our Nib token, and ends on Sengenjin, Exodia, and just swings for game because he's going second. Round 3, we win a die roll against another White Forest player. He leads off with a Fulos, so when we're going first, we were able to end on Spirit, Spears, and Full Metal. And as they activate the Requiem under Graveyard, we do trigger the Jewel Storm that was in our hand, banishing the Requiem. We use Spears to bounce back their Caesar, which they already got, so that way they can just scoop from there. Game 2, they go first, and we roll on the Engraver, which causes them to just have a T-set pass. I start comboing out, and he does manage to draw me, but we drew the one-off called by baby. After that, he just scoops it up and we take the game. Round 4, we won the die roll against another White Forest player. I don't know what it was with this regionals in White Forest, but they were everywhere. I start to go full combo and I go completely uninterrupted, even on Spears, Spirit, and Majesty. During his main phase, he super polys my Spirit and my Spears into Garura. KK, this is no time for your commentary. After the draw off of Garura, I do manage to droll him. He normal summons, gets a little bit of damage in, and then passes. I draw Black Metal. I combo into Darkness Metal and use its effect to summon Blue Eyes from the graveyard. I use True Light to set Wishes, and use Wishes to add Sage and Ultimate Fusion. I use Ultimate Fusion to go into Tyrant and fuse the 2 Blue Eyes to pop 2 cards. He then just scoops. Game 2, I draw completely unplayable, and he proceeds to go full combo. Once he ends on his combo, I didn't draw anything playable still, so I just scoop it up there and we go into game 3. Game 3 was a repeat of game 1, almost to a T, even down to the super poly droll play. And after that, we just kind of take it. Round 5, and win a die roll against Ancient Gear, which is good for us since we have a homie back in... It's Matt, isn't it? Unfortunately for Matt, we do know how to play against him, but we made a gentleman's agreement that whoever won the die roll, we're going to pick as if we actually want to go in the turn we want to. We're just going to go in blind. Game 1, I draw unplayable and just have to immediately pass, and he's able to go full combo and just OTKs me. That's what Ancient Gear does. They like going second. Game 2, I make Matt go first. I'm able to Ash at a vital spot. I don't remember what the card was that I Ashed, but all I know is that once I Ashed it, he had no other place, so he had to pass. In which case, I had just enough be able to combo out and OTK him. So now we go into game 3. Game 3, we both brick, and it's just a matter of who doesn't brick first. Who can get playable first? I got playable first. I was able to combo out. I wasn't able to kill, but I was able to set up a board good enough to where we were able to take it. We were able to win, but at what cost?
Matt, I'm so sorry, brother.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. This
Okay.
was not a good victory for me. It was not.
Round 6, we win a die roll against Ryziel, Mitsurugi, Fiendsmith. Finally, we are able to see the best deck in the meta right now. I go first and play under Fulos, ending on a Spirit Pass, and he goes into Fiendsmith line, and as soon as he attempts to summon Requiem from the grave, I Baldrake. He attempts to add off Prayers, so we Ash and he scoops. Game 2, he goes first, and the only option I have is Droll. He uses Track, and I draw off of the resolution of Track. He ends on a Murakumo Pass, and I start Wishes, adding Sage and Fusion. On res, he draws me back. From there, there's not much I can do. I just set and pass, and he's able to combo and swing for game. Game 3 was incredibly grindy. He draws me, keeping me from being able to go into Mausoleum after shuffling back Blue Eyes for Ultimate Fusion. So he ended up on a Tyrant Pass. He's able to combo out, and we just lose. Round 7, and we lose a die roll against Pure Mitsurugi. Game 1, we're able to Ash pre-prep and force him to pass. We set up Renegade, and he just scoops. Game 2, we start with absolutely 0 interruption going second, and he sets up an unbreakable board, so we just scoop there. Game 3, we set up Spears and Spirit. He's then able to top deck Super Poly and summon Garura, and all I have in my hand at that point is a Veiler, a Bell, and a Dream. He's able to set up Murakumo and Futso, and before leaving main, I summon Blue Eyes off of my True Light. He Futsos, and I should have Veilered the Futso, but I Bell it. And the reason that that is important was because he's able to send Murakumo and then revive it. And if I had Belled, I wouldn't be able to have to deal with an Omni Negate on my turn. Now, would I have won the game off of that? No, I didn't check my top deck to see what I could have gotten. But from there, there's nothing I can do. I just scoop. And that ends our day in Duluth with a 3-4 record. But the silver lining is, while we were in Duluth, we got a absolute bunch of trades from some of the vendors there. Now, I know some of these trades are going to look like they're incredibly one-sided, and that's because the vendors, they don't do a one-for-one trade. They want to make a profit, so they give you a percentage. That way they can get a bunch of cards, you get a couple from their inventory, and they're still able to keep up a good inventory. But the vendors and all the regionals I went to were actually pretty lenient with me and worked with me to try to get these random penny cards that I needed. Such as in this photo, where this vendor was happily able to take 3 Engraver, Devosar Lars, a Ame no Habakiri, a bunch of random stuff, including the Fenrir I mentioned earlier, our Detonator and our Aurorus, 3 copies of DD Crow, a rarity bump for our Spears, so now we don't have a common Spears anymore, 3 copies of Bingo Machine Go. Bingo Machine Go is gonna rear its head here in a minute, a Ancient Fairy Dragon, as well as an Albion. You might be asking yourself, why do we need Albion? Well, my friend Corey, he's been in the videos before, shouts out to you, he was able to give us a bunch of the Albaz stuff that we needed, and the reason he just gave it to us was because I had a spare set of Levier mics that I gave to him, and as thanks, he gave me that. So it kind of bends the rules a little bit because I bought the Levier mics for the series, and I gave them to him because they were extras, but then he gave us the Albaz stuff because of it. But the rule said I can't take freebies, it has to be trades. But it's my series, so I'm going to do what I want. Another trade we were able to make at this regional was a big one. The Collector's Rare Fulos that I mentioned before, we could have kept it in our deck as a rarity bump, but I wanted the value of the trade more than the rarity bump, and we can always get another Fulos later. I doubt we're going to stop opening Stampede anytime soon, even though we're about to be trying to get the Lord of the Load again. But as soon as we get the Primite cards we need, I'm probably just going to be opening up Stampede. So we traded that Fulos for a Sanctifier. And if you guys have played Blue Eyes before, you know what I'm cooking up, and you probably hate me for it. And that's because we're going in with a Spirit Lock strategy.
Tuscaloosa list, and ooh, baby, is it a good one. First off, 46 cards. We did add the Bingo Machine Go, and this is strictly a we are screwed, we need wishes. So the idea here is that we are able to normal summon our Sage and activate its effect, and if we get drolled, then they're going to droll regardless anyway, so it's not that big a deal if they droll after Sage. But if they Ash the Sage and we have Bingo in our hand, we just simply go, okay, Bingo, reveal the 3 wishes, add one of the wishes to our hand, activate wishes, so then we all guarantee to get Maiden and either add the Majesty or the Ultimate Fusion. We also decided to add a 3rd Black Metal Dragon because I like being able to use it to go into Darkness Metal and Full Metal, so that way I can guarantee to get my combos off. The extra deck is where a lot of the changes happen, so let me go over why we're running what we're running. We're running what's called Spirit Lock. What Spirit Lock is that you give your opponent a spirit with eyes of blue, and they can only special summon dragons. The way that you do this is that you want spears on your side of the field. Before you summon any other extra deck monster, you need to summon spears. And this, you want it to be before the 5th summon. Now, 9 out of 10 times, a person that's playing against Blue Eyes is going to nib before leaving the main phase, whether the Blue Eyes player is going 1st or 2nd. So they nib me and they tribute Spears. Spears activates and I bring out Albaz. Now if they nibbed me, it's even better because I only need 1 this card instead of 2. So we Albaz fuse it and their Nibiru to bring out Albion. Albion, we're going to banish the Albaz and one of the light spellcasters in our grave, whether that be Valor, Maiden, or Sage. Doesn't really matter which one. Ideally, it's Sage, because he doesn't really do anything for us on Special Summon. He only does stuff for us on Normal Summon. But any of them will work to bring out Sanctifier. Now, Sanctifier's effect is only during your opponent's turn, so what you do is you end your turn on the summon of Sanctifier, draw phase, Sanctifier effect, you target 2 monsters in either graveyard. It's supposed to summon 1 to your side and 1 to your opponent's side. Now, the monster you summon to your side doesn't really matter. I like to go with Spheres, because if it does get tributed for whatever reason, then I can activate the Recursion effect again. Or sometimes, if I just want something to be able to go into, I special summon Black Metal and I can link it off for another Spirit. I summon Spirit to my opponent's side, so now they're Spirit Lock, and unless they have something they can tribute it for, or they're also playing dragons, they're locked down. Going blind is a little risky because Blue Eyes is still a relevant meta deck, or not meta deck, but rogue meta deck, kinda, and it's able to get this thing, and if you give them this, they're gonna thank you for it, but it is more than likely going to be facing Malice and Mitsurugi, so it's actually really good to have. And to side, the only real change that we took out one Judgment and put in one Nibiru so that we can have double Nibiru for if we're going second. But yeah, that's mainly the new list.
The next regional is in Tuscaloosa. I was able to go on my own, and unfortunately, no real trades at this regional, so there won't be a trading thing at the end of it like the last one. But on round 1, we win the die roll against Mitsu YuGiOh. Once we get Spheres on board with Blue Eyes and Maiden, we get Nib. Spheres, we're able to go into Black Metal and link it to Spirit with Black Metal and get Full Metal. We use Spirit to summon the Blue Eyes and the True Light to set Fusion and Pass. He starts going into YuGiOh lines, and on summon of Duo, I use Fusion and the Tyrant using Blue Eyes on the field, and the Spirit in Grave, and on Resolution, I pop the Duo Drive. In Open Game State, I max Metal Tyrant into Full Metal. In Open Game State, I activate Max Metal Morph on the field to attribute my Tyrant to go into Full Metal for an Omni Negate. He ends on Murakumo and Detonator and uses Talents to take, which doesn't target, so he's able to take Full Metal. He's then just able to swing for game. Game 2, I try to play low in case I get Nib, but Nib never showed up, so I end on Spheres, Maiden, and True Light. He opens with Lightning Storm, and he calls back row, but I'm able to go Chimink 1 Spheres, Chimink 2 True Light. I True Light to summon the Blue Eyes, and Spheres to bounce back my own True Light. I then use Spheres to summon Swarm, and he's able to take it with Talents. On Resolution, I use Baldrake, banishing Spheres to summon itself, and he attempts to add with Prayers, but I'm able to ash it. He summons Murakumo, and I attempt to banish it with Baldrake, but he dodges it. He then attempts to add with Prayers, but I'm able to ash it. He's still able to go into Murakumo. I attempt to banish Murakumo with Baldrake, but he's able to dodge it. He ends on Murakumo, Dual Drive, and Detonator, and he swings into Maiden, which he attempts to negate the Maiden effect, but I discarded the True Light as a Hail Mary to see if I can stop him. I live with 6,400 life points, and I draw into Darkness Metal. I banish Druis to summon, and I attempt its effect to summon from the grave, but he's able to just Murakumo to negate it, and it tributes itself, summons itself back, Raigeki's my board. He then wastes no time to just immediately swing for game. Round 2, and we win the die roll against Zombie World. This is an interesting one. We managed to set up Spirit, Spheres, Majesty, and True Light, and Ultimate Fusion on board, completely uninterrupted. On his turn, he attempts to activate Zombie World, but I have Majesty to pop, and he goes into his combo. I wish I knew this deck better, because it's like the zombie fire synchro strategy, but I'm not super familiar with it. He tends to summon from the graveyard, but I'm able to use his Spirit to negate the summon and chain 3 Spheres to bounce and chain 4 True Light to summon. All of that's resolving, and I bounce back my own True Light, and I am able to activate Spheres and Grave to summon, and I go into Albaz. Don't ask me why I didn't go into Albaz during game 1. I kind of forgot this. Albaz I used to fuse itself, and the Synchro he already has on board, so I'm able to go into Mirror Jade. He passes with 2 face downs, and I attempt to move the battle, and he activates back to the front to summon from the grave. I Mirror Jade and banish the summon, so I'm able to just swing for game. Game 2, he goes first, and I guess he bricked because all he did was just set to pass. I play Lightning Storm, calling the back row, and I attempt to combo out and move the battle with Spheres on board, but he's able to nib me before I go into battle phase. Still in the main phase, on Resolution, I Spheres to summon, and I summon Albaz. Albaz fused into Albion, and Albion fused Albaz in the Sage Engrave and the Sanctifier. And then on his draw phase, I summon Spirit to his side of the field, and he kind of shot himself in the foot here because he first activates Zombie World, then attempts to activate Monster Reborn. However, because Zombie World turns both of our graveyards into pure zombies, there's no dragon for him to special summon, so he can't have Monster Reborn because you can't reborn zombies. So he just passes. I'm able to just turn everything to attack position and swing for game. Round 3, we lose the die roll against Malice, and if you guys have been watching this series, you know Malice is my white whale. I want to beat this deck so bad. Game 1, in my starting hand, I'm able to have Nib and Ash, so I have to time this perfectly. And I'm able to Ash the Hair, and he ends on the new Igniter Omni Negate. I don't remember what it's called. But before leaving main, I Nib. I feel scummy for this, but it's a regionals. He then says, we're good, puts everything in the grave, goes, wait a minute, puts everything back and attempts to negate. And I told him, sorry man, this is a regional. It's my spot in Nationals is on the line here. You already said it was good, so everything was good. He sends everything to the grave. You can call me a rule shark if you want, but this is a region. If we were in a local setting, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. But this is a regional. You gotta know your stuff. But he's still to end on Rend Ransom and passes. I normal summon Sage. I attempt to activate Sage's effect, but he ashed it. I then activate Wishes, and I'm able to add, but then he drolls me on the Wishes. But I'm able to still combo out and I'm able to just end on Spears pass. In draw phase, I attempt to activate the Spears to bounce back, but he had Impulse, so he's just able to negate the whole thing. From there, he's just able to combo out, and he's just able to swing for game. Game 2, I get Fuwood, and my Maiden is Vicialed on the summon attempts. So the only thing we're able to do is just end on Spears. Draw phase, I Spears to bounce back True Light, and on res, summon Albaz. Albaz used himself and the Vicial he summoned on my turn to go into Rebellion. I'm able to combo out into the Spirit Lock. I should be able to win here. Unfortunately, I'm dumb, and I summon Sanctifier in attack position, so he just goes Battle Phase, Spirit Swing into Sanctifier, destroying itself, and then he's just able to combo out into a board from there, because now he's the one who locks in the dragons. I'm able to survive until my next turn, but he ends on Access Code and just hops my entire board. Round 4, we lose a Dairo to Kashtira Fiendsmith, and all 3 rounds were an amazing back and forth. It ended the time, and I just didn't have time to write down everything that happened in my notes. There's so much that happened in this game. I wish I could have recorded it. It was such a good back and forth. But like I said, we did lose the time, losing on life points 4,200, ending the day with a 1-3 record.
The final regional in Greensville, South Carolina. To the main deck, nothing really changed. We took out a Blue Eyes Ultimate Fusion just to give ourselves a little bit more recursion, and we also added the Neokai's Seahorse just so that way we can have a little bit more starter engine going on in the deck. In the extra deck, we took out a Tyrant and we decided to throw in a Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. So the idea here is we were able to synchro into this thing after getting nibbed, assuming we can't go into the Spirit Lock, or it's not worth going into the Spirit Lock because it's, you know, we're facing another dragon player. So what we do here is that we were able to get a level 1 tuner on board, and then we synchro it for this, and we put the Nibiru in the Spawn Trap card zone, and now we just have a big 3k body, and it's a quick effector in the main phase. So whenever they summon a monster, I can activate its effect, put it in the Spawn Trap card zone. So this against something like Splash Mage or White Binder would be pretty sweet to do it against. But yeah, this is the final list right now for our regional run. So hopefully this will take us pretty far.
Final regionals, and we're going to Greensville, South Carolina. Round 1, we win the die roll against Pure Mitsurugi, and I'm going first. My starting hand is Magnamut, Baldrake, Blue Eyes, Valor, and Roar. What do? I roar to summon, but he's able to chain Fulos, and rather than giving him more draws, I opt to just pass on defense mode Blue Eyes. He combos and sends Mura for cost, and on the summon back, I Baldrake, banishing on the summon effect. But he's just able to hard summon a second one. And on that note, we just go to game 2. Game 2, I combo out, ending on Maiden, Spears, and hoping to get nibbed, but the nib never came. He combos, forcing the Spears to bounce back, and a Spears summoned, but he ashes the Spears. I Judgment the Prayers to Ritual Summon, but he has another one, and it's not a once per turn ritual spell. Are there once per turn ritual spells? I don't think there are. He summons Murakumo in another body and is just able to swing for game because I paid half my life points with Judgment. Round 2, and we lose a die roll against, you guessed it, another Mitsu player. But he makes me go first, which I'm really concerned about in this, but okay. During the standby phase, he Perulias me, but I have Called By. I Sage to add the Maiden, but he draws me on the ad, so really wish I'd saved the Called By there. So all I can do is end on Spears, Maiden, and pass. He then proceeds to go combo out and manage to get the OTK, and in game 2, I go first again. I decide to play under double Fulos. When I play double Fulos, I mean I just pretend I didn't respect it. I just went full, as big combo as I could, hoping that what I could get is enough. He's able to banish my Maiden for a Baldrake, but we still managed to end on Spirit, Spears, and pass. And then during his draw phase, I'm able to combo out and do him into a Spirit Lock, but he tributes the Spirit to tribute summon Druid Swarm, and then he just combos out and is able to swing for game. Round 3, and we lose the die roll against Blue Eyes Magia. During game 1, he goes first, and he sets up 2 Spirit Dragons and passes. And I could go into the long, convoluted, like 30-plus minute match, but he just had a much better grind game than I had, so we lose game 1. Game 2, I'm able to combo and set up Spears, Full Metal, and I had Valor, Droll, Imperm in my hand. Well, Imperm I had set face down, but you get what I'm saying. It's too many negates and way too much interruption from the playthrough, so he just scoops it up and we'll go to game 3. Game 3, he activates wishes, and on resolution, I droll, and that's all he can do, so he sets 2 and passes. I then combo out and am able to just OTK for game. Round 4, and we win the die roll against Malice. Game 1, I go first, and I set Spears and Full Metal. And they seem to be really confused on how Full Metal works, so rather than dealing with it, they just opted to scoop and go into Game 2. Game 2, I Lancia during the standby phase, and all they can do is set 2 pass. I end on Spears, and during the draw phase, I'm just calling out into a Spirit Lock, and they can't do anything, so they scoop. Didn't feel good about that one, but a win's a win, we'll take it. Round 5, we lose a die roll against another Malice player. All of a sudden, they're coming out of the woodwork. So outside of the last regional where we fought only White Forest. Game 1, they combo out, but I'm able to droll and banish the Dormouse from grave using Magnemite. I full Metal Max set and pass, and I'm able to summon Full Metal, but they banish it and swing for game. Game 2, I hard brick, and I shit you not. Game 2, I have it right here. I'll tell you verbatim what I have written down. Game 2, I go first and hard brick on Imperm, Judgment, Lightning Storm, Called By, and Max Metal. What do I do? All I can do is set 4 and pass, and I judge the Underground and Imperm the backup, which gets me into the next turn. I draw, and it's Ash Blossom. Where are my starters? All I can do is set it and pass. They draw playable and combo out. Round 6, we go up against Blackwing, and we are able to go first, setting up Spears and regained, and then we pass turn. He normals a Blackwing monster. I don't remember which one, but on the normal summon, we chain 1 Spears, chain 2 True Light. We use True Light to summon the Blue Eyes from grave, and he's expecting me to bounce back his normal summon with Spears, but instead I bounce back my own True Light. And then on resolution, we do Spears, summon out Albaz, and we just combo out from there using his own Dark Monster to go into Rebellion, in which case we Spirit Lock him, and he just kind of slams his hand on the table and says, go. I'm able to hard draw on the Maiden on my draw phase, discard it, place him back up to True Light, and we're just able to combo out and swing from there. Game 2, he goes first, but we both brick. So once again, it is a matter of who can unbrick first, and it was me. So we just combo out and we win from there. Round 7 was against Gimmick Puppet FTK, and I know next to nothing about this deck. I don't know what to stop, I don't know how to stop it, and I don't know how to keep myself from being burned to death. So I'm not gonna even attempt to remember what happened. I didn't put much in the notes because again, I don't know what these cards do. So I'm just going to cut to the chase and say that we got burned to death. Which leaves all of our records in order from our first regional to the last regional. 2-4-2, 3-4, 1-3, and 3-4. We were unable to get a top spot. I tried my absolute darndest, but it wasn't enough. Theoretically, we could go to nationals, and there are like last minute qualifiers, but I just don't think the deck is where it needs to be able to get into nationals. I do think we need to grind a little bit more. I think we need to focus on our strategies and narrow it down a little bit. Get a few extra cards like Lord Reload. If we can get one Lord Reload out of the Battles of Legends packs, it's gonna be insane. 3 Primate, 1 Lord Reload, and double Drill Beam is diabolical. That is literally 7 for 7. Full Metal package comes out, Primate package goes in. But on that note, I'm going to end this video here. I'm sorry that the video took so long to get out. I hope that it was worth the wait, and we'll be getting back to our regularly scheduled programming within the next week or two. So with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here. You guys enjoy this video, make sure that like button, couple of think the video, make sure that subscribe button, helps me out as a whole. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.